Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'm back with another review. This time I saw American Mary. This is a horror film from 2012, directed by Jen and Sylvia Soska, and it stars Catherine Isabel, um, Antonio Cupo, Tristan Risk, Paula Lindbergh, and John Emmett Tracy. In this film, a young medical student struggling to pay tuition is drawn into the shady world of underground body modification. So, what did I think of American Mary? Now, it's going to be yet another spoiler review because I have to talk about the ending. Um, spoilers. Other than if only some of the plot lines had been a bit more fleshed out, some of the acting had been a bit better, and the ending had been a lot more impactful, this would have been an easy new horror classic. I mean, it's from 2012, but like a newer horror classic. Because the ingredients are all there. Well, at least most of them. And I was genuinely put off by some of the scenes in this film. And it wasn't just because shock value. Crazy. But let me get to the cast. Catherine Isabel plays Mary Mason. She's a student trained to be a surgeon, and after being denied and denied and denied, not being taken seriously, and after being assaulted, she goes hardcore in this body modification scene. I'm not a person who knows a lot about the body modification scene. If anybody's seen this film and can give some insight, please do. But I think Catherine Isabel gives a pretty great performance here. I don't think she's I don't think she's just taking a paycheck. I think she genuinely fits for this role. She looks the part and she plays it very well. Antonio Cupo plays Billy. He's the owner of the strip club she tries to work at one point, who kind of becomes somewhat of a love interest. I don't mind him. I think his acting's fine. I do wish it was a little better though. Um, Paula Lynn, no wait, Tristan Risk plays Beatrice. She's a girl who's gotten all these surgeries to look like Betty Boop, and she even speaks like her. Pretty freaky to look at. Very good effects. I will get to that. I think she does a great job here. At first, I was like, is this character going to become annoying? But over time, I think she became quite endearing. Paula Lindbergh plays Ruby Real Girl, this woman who's basically got enough body modifications to make herself look like a Barbie doll or a real girl doll. I think she does a fine job too. And John Emmett Tracy plays Detective Delore. He's again a detective that's looking to find out where certain people went. Um, yeah, he's fine. But yeah, definitely a very different type of plot for a film. I don't know a lot of horror films that have to do with the body modification scene, especially ones that have won like awards. This one Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Director at Screamfest. Pretty cool. And yeah, I've been wanting to see this for a while, and I just kind of like hopped across a clip on YouTube, and I was like, you know what? I might as well watch this. And I'm glad I did. At least for the things I can appreciate, and I will talk about some things I didn't. But yeah, excuse me. Catherine Isabel, powerhouse. I think she does a great job here. I'm trying to think of a movie she's bad in. Just looking through what she has been in. Freddy vs. Jason, I think she was fine. Ginger Snap's great. Uh, Ginger Snaps too, she was great. Carrie remake, she was great. Bones. Rampage was a small part, but I think she did fine. 88. I'd have to watch that again, but I remember her being fun. But yeah, like overall, just pretty, pretty fun. Yeah, she's a very capable actress. One of the few from Canada that I can just say I'm excited to see anything with her in it. Um, Sorry, I'm a little lost tonight. Uh, I think the effects work very well in terms of getting under your skin without just being extremely like super exploitative. Because like I'm fine with body horror as long as that's like all it is and it's not like trying to lecture me on something. And I wouldn't say this film is lecturing on anything. It's mainly about like being yourself and sometimes being too much of yourself can be a problem or going too far in terms of pushing the limits of what you're capable of can end in disaster. Like something like that, I guess. Um, it doesn't really matter. All I know is that I was entertained. There's even a bit like the with the real girl. She was like, I only want to be seen as a doll, so I want you to basically remove. She wants her to remove her nipples, make sure that there's no way to use her vagina and remove some other things. And I gotta say, the end result that we see later on in the film, definitely disturbing without being gross, you know? Like, I think this is how you do smart gross. Or like a smart freaking out thing. Like it's kind of freaky to look at without just being like, ooh, blood and guts everywhere. Which I do think that's what like I would compare this film kind of to Excision, that Annalyn McCord horror film that might have come out that same year. Maybe I'm mistaken. It did, 2012. Yeah, I'd easily say this film is a million times better than Excision. Excision was awful, but um yeah, like this film, the practical effects look fantastic. I didn't notice any CGI. If there was, it was very well hidden. Um, the musical score from Peter Allen, very nice to listen to, worked very well. Um, but yeah, I there's a lot of things that I like about this film. There's also some things I don't really like. The ending, I don't think like just to quickly sum it up, the boyfriend of Ruby Real Girl is a guy who also has like surgeries to make himself look kind of like a Ken doll. He comes to her house. She reveals that she's had her nipples removed and had everything else sewn up. And it's implied that he beat her up or killed her, but they never really go back to that. You do find out Beatrice or well, whatever the other the Betty Boop girl. You find out she got beaten up and she called Mary and is telling her over the phone that he beat her up, like the her boyfriend or Real Girl's boyfriend beat her up, and he's on the way to kill her. He stabs her. She rips out his throat with her teeth or something, and basically crawls along the ground to suture her stomach wound and bleeds out on the floor. I hate this ending, and it does take this down from like a 9 or 10 definitely to an 8 cuz again the well it's at least a 9 cuz I really did enjoy pretty much everything else like story-wise and acting-wise in this film from Catherine Isabel. And I think the ending is kind of a slap in the face. Like I know this is the Soska's only second feature film. Their first was Dead Hooker in a Trunk, which I have not seen. I really don't feel like seeing it. But I don't like this ending. It leaves so many things open and it's not even a scary ending or like a depressing ending. It's just like it just kind of stops. And I don't tend to like endings like this. Um Again, I also think the some of the performances are again not amazing. Uh this was shot in Canada, so it's another one of those like Canadian actors, we need Canadian actors, so you get actors cheaper or something for filming in Canada because at least half of your cast there's something about half of your cast has to be Canadian if it's a Canadian production if you want funds from the government to help make it. Something like that. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of plot lines seem very left open that I don't like. Beatrice, I kind of wish, whatever. Betty Boop Girl, I wish she had a little more to do. Um, I wish, I wish, Ruby Real Girl had a couple more conversations with Mary. It would have been nice to see a couple more, um, procedures because I I found it interesting seeing how they turned out and yeah, it's genuinely something that's not really seen in cinema that often. Uh, but yeah, um, oh yeah, the whole thing with Billy, he feel his character just kind of they're like, hey, we should go out sometime. Yeah, maybe whatever, and that's kind of the end of their plot line. And I'm not huge on that. But still, I would still recommend this film. I think it's freaky. I think it does what it's trying to do very well. Catherine Isabel, great actress, definitely not bad to look at. But yeah, still really enjoy the film. So that's my review of American Mary. If you've seen the film, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations, put them down there as well. Like, comment, subscribe, and movie review next door. Out.